Welcome to the final video of the tag where I dedicate a single video to every question in the mid-year freakout tag. This has been fun. It has been a journey. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I know I have. I've enjoyed breaking these up into little videos. Now, this tag goes on to ask questions about like video goals on BookTube and reflecting on videos that you've made so far on BookTube. And I have made very few videos so far this year on BookTube. So I'm just going to skip those and I'm just going to answer all the book questions. So the final book question is, what are books you need to read by the end of the year? And this question is rude. Okay. I made a video talking about the 25 books I want to read in 2025. Okay, so this tag made me go check my list of 25 books that I want to read in 2025. And guess what? I have read 5 of them. We are halfway through the year and I have read 5 of them, which means I still have 20 books on that list that I need to read by the end of the year. And I can tell you right now, that is not going to happen. So I'm going to talk about the books that I am definitely reading this year. Hopefully, definitely reading this year. Number 1 is The Dance of Shadows by Rogba, Payne. I am reading this as a buddy read in Andrew Watson's Discord. I will have his channel linked below. The patrons vote on the buddy reads we do in that Discord, and this is the one that won. There are a handful of people in that Discord that have been screaming about how amazing this book is and how everyone is sleeping on this book. I will also be linking Ross's review video. Ross from Hardy Books did a review video stating exactly this, that everyone is sleeping on this book, and he also has a complete review for this book, so I will link that if you want to know more about this book. And I am excited to finally get around to reading this book in the buddy read over there. It sounds amazing. It is a high fantasy. It is a story about a character who has a tragedy happen and then he has to like decide between protecting the people he loves versus like getting revenge or something to that effect. I might have that completely wrong. I'm not going to reread the description because I'm hoping to start this book soon. So I'm excited. A few other books I might try to get to this year. One of them is Dinosaurs at the Dinner Party. I want to read more dinosaur books this year. This one's on the list of books that I want to read this year. Yes. Also, I've already been on the record saying that there's like authors I want to read all of their books. Yeah, I think I still want to try to read Human X this year by Han Kang. I don't want to like set myself too many expectations of like I have to read these by the end of the year, but that's not even a very long book. I think I can do that. I also had on my 25 books I want to read in 2025, You Dreamed of Empires, and I am starting reading this one now. So watch out for videos about this on my channel because I will be making videos talking about this book. I know there's lots of discussions around this one and how it's marketed and what it's about and all of that stuff. And I'm interested in joining the discussions and talking about my feelings on this book. So, I also might try to read The Calculating Stars. I think I have the audiobook for the first one. I know like book 4 in this series just came out. I have a coworker who really loves this series. So I might try to see how much of those I can get through this year. And then one of the things I want to do, now we are in the midst of summer and I actually read less in the summer. So I have no grand plans for the rest of summer. However, I want to set myself a goal this winter to tackle a big series. Now, I am kind of thinking like big fantasy series. That is like what's on my mind right now whenever I say that. I might change that goal. I might decide to like say tackle an author's backlog. Like I read their most recent book and I want to read all of their previous books or something like that. But some of the series I have in mind for like I'm going to get through the whole series this winter. One of them is The Realm of the Elderlings. So I read the Farseer trilogy, and I read like 2.3% of Life Ship Traders. Not 2.3%. 2 books plus 33% of the 3rd book. I started the 3rd book. I was really enjoying myself. I just did not have the time to continue to dedicate to it, and I kind of just like fell off reading. Okay, but that is to say, this is like one of the best fantasy series ever. And I've not finished it, and I want to be finished it, okay? Because I want to like not worry about like avoiding spoilers, and I want to like be in the discussions when other people are reading it for the first time. And I love this series, I know that, and I want to read all of it. So that is a possibility for books that I read this winter. Another possibility is Song of Ice and Fire. So I have read books 1 and 2. I really liked books 1 and 2. I have not continued the series. So this is another strong contender for a long fantasy series. If I set this as a goal for this winter, I will probably read the entire thing. So I'll start over at book 1 and then read the entire thing. I would kind of say the same thing for Realm of the Elderlings, although maybe I would skip rereading Farseer. I don't know. I would have to decide that later. Another big fantasy series I might consider diving into this winter is Malazan, Book of the Following. Or is it Malazan or Malazan? Anyway, these books. They might be ones that I dive into this winter. I'm definitely picking like a big fantasy series. It might not be a fantasy series. I'm picking a reading project this winter because I read more in the winter. And then it will like just give me something to focus on instead of just reading whatever I want, I guess. So another project I could do is like finish series that I start, because sometimes I'll read book 1 and I love it and then I don't finish the series. That is also a problem. So maybe that could be my project. So if you have thoughts on any of this, chat with me in the comments. Thank you for following along with this unhinged reading tag experience, and I will see you in the next video. Happy reading.